Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Guys, sorry about the confusion. I thought we usually start at the 15, but the truth, that's what it's on my schedule. But that's fine. How's everyone doing?
I'm sorry. Did we interrupt dinner?
You good?
No, not even. More like bath and baby time. But that's
I'm sorry.
okay. Can you lower it so I can only see Xander right now?
Oh, sorry.
What's up? Woo.
Hello.
Hey. There are more guys. You got to move over.
No apparent reason.
Move over. Xander, shift to the right. To the right. Let's go. Freddie, you too. Move over. So Zach can see you. You're a non-entity at the moment. Freddie, scoot it. There we go.
Everyone's like wondering, who is he talking to? Right? Rachel's like, is it me? Max is like, I don't even care if it's me. I'm not going. Just kidding. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, how's everyone doing? Did you miss me?
Fairly well.
Fairly well. That's not a bad response. I'm happy not to hear anything bad. Well, just for everyone's information, it was a heat wave last week in Israel. So,
Yeah, I know. My son was rubbing it in.
Yeah. So I'm not going to rub it in, but it was pretty awesome. But as I was walking home from work today, all of a sudden started pouring rain, and I got stuck in it, so I got drenched. So, haha, Zach. That's not nice. That is not nice. Okay, let's get started here, everyone. We got a lot of things to do. Not enough time to do it in, but we're going to get it all done. We are recording. We're good to go. Let me share my screen for a second before we're going to give you a little bit of some Israeli news, so we could just start the class with that. Interesting. I don't know if people go on or anyone read the news online, or anyone like news readers online.
I watch the news.
I'm forced to.
Okay, it's a good thing to know. I'm telling you right now, at like your age, you're like, whatever, who cares? But when you come to like be a little bit older, you'll be like, I wish I read more news when I was younger. So take this as time. So a couple of things. This is interesting. As we've talked about, or as we'll mention, Israel is like leading industry in biotech and the technology industry. And here, Israel and the U.S. are currently in discussion about a specific type of therapy which helps against radiology, which is like a radiological attack. These are Israeli scientists, and America is currently in the midst of making a discussion with them that will hopefully sell a lot of Israeli products to Israel, a lot of Israeli products to America, which is always a great thing. And this is just one of the many types of partnerships Israel has with America, definitely an economic, business-wise, because Israel provides a lot to America and vice versa. America provides a lot. So this is just one way, is in the biotech industry. So like biology and a lot of like, I would say, important pharmaceutical products. Here you read, this is Pluristem Therapeutic developed groundbreaking cellular therapy that can heal 100% of patients exposed to radiological attack. That's pretty cool. On a less good note, I want to share a story, which I normally don't do because I try to keep this segment of Israel news like pretty happy and upbeat. But I think it's really important. It's especially after spending some time learning about the Holocaust, talking about people who fought back. This is a family, the Weissman family. On the right, this young man, 21 years old, Tuvia Yanai Weissman. He went by Yanai. He was this is his wife and their, I think, I don't know, son or daughter. I'm pretty sure son. And he was in, and we've talked a little bit about the West Bank, but we'll go over it a little bit today. Basically he was in a city, or more like a village, and or a small town. I would say small town is the best way to describe it. And he went to the local supermarket, and there he was a sergeant in the Israeli army. He was off duty. He was just with his wife and baby, and he heard heard screams of someone who attacked a stabbing in a supermarket. And he went to thwart and to fight off these two attackers. And he was unfortunately killed. He was unarmed. He just went to fight, and he was unfortunately murdered and left a mother and child, husbandless and fatherless. And it's a terrible, terrible tragedy. It's definitely not the first this year. I don't know if it's the first or second time bringing it up this year. This year has been a rather difficult year in Israel. I try to focus in this class on the good things, but it has been a rather difficult year with a lot of unfortunate stabbings and people who have been killed in Israel. And he is the most recent victim of a civilian murder. For it's not soldiers versus soldiers. It's not wartime. It's someone coming into a supermarket and murdering people for the fact that they are Jewish people living in their homeland. So I'm going to dedicate this class in honor of Tuvia Yanai Weissman, and his learning should be a merit to him and to his family. So that's that. Anyone want to ask any questions about it? Like, feel free. I'm pretty open to answering anything.
Anybody have any questions about what happened?
No? Okay. All right, so we're going to continue. Everyone's on the haiku?
Yep.
Everyone's on the haiku? Great. Okay, so let me just share again. Okay, so we're going to talk today a little bit about something pretty interesting, I think. Something that's near and dear to many Jews' hearts across the world and throughout Jewish history. And the first question I'm going to ask is, what is the capital of Israel? And on the haiku, all you have to do is click on your answer, press submit, and then we will refresh the page and then see who's answering what. All right, you all see it? We're on session 9.
Everybody there?
I can't see it. It says session 5.
There's no session 9?
So just refresh the page. It should say session 9. If it says session 5, then it's because you haven't refreshed the page.
Oh, there we
I
go.
do.
No.
Refresh. I'll even refresh it. Leave page and refreshing. Should say session 9, and everybody should see it. Everyone see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so just click on whatever you think is the capital of Israel.
Whatever. Click on what you think is the capital. Please put your phone away.
All right, I'm going to refresh the page to see if we have any answers. So far, we don't have any answers. Did anyone people press submit?
Yes. I did it.
So hold on, let's see. I don't see any responses. Still no responses. Interesting.
I think you have to answer first and then. Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't, but let me just put in my answer and see what happens. You guys may be right. Oh, you guys are all right. Look at you. Thank you for teaching me how to use haiku. I appreciate it. Thumbs up for Paramus. Everyone give yourselves thumbs up. I don't see enough. I don't see enough of these. Are people too cool for thumbs? Do you guys know what thumbs are anymore or no?
We know what thumbs are.
You use thumbs to send text messages. Okay?
Worn out.
Eve, are you laughing? You're just having a good time?
I'm tired.
You're tired? Okay, good. All right, so we see, it's a pretty simple question. What is the capital of Israel? It's Jerusalem, right? Everyone has that. Everyone knows that answer. Why do you think I asked that question?
Why did Zach ask the question, guys? Hello? Wake up.
Yes, Ben.
Because when we were learning about Jerusalem today and we wanted to know if we all knew what it was.
That's it. That's definitely a good answer. It's definitely one of the things I was thinking about because we are going to be learning about it today. Great. What else? What else could I be asking? All right, let me help you out there. Yes, okay, Max, go.
he's saying that we should be learning about Israel and what it has accomplished.
All right, let's get a little bit further. Yes, Xander?
Well, maybe so we know how to like read a map and tell where the capital is because see, like it has the star right next to Jerusalem.
Look at that. I didn't think anyone would notice that when I first put it on. I'm like, no one's going to notice the little star, but you did. Good job, Xander. Okay, let me tell you why. Because you see there's another city there called Tel Aviv?
You see it, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. It's important because the country you currently live in thinks that Tel Aviv is the capital of Israel.
There you go.
And your United States government and many governments across the world do not accept that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. Okay? Now, this is very important because as Jews, and like people, we know, what do you mean Jerusalem? Tel Aviv, yes, you've heard Tel Aviv, it's a cool place, beaches, parties, all that. But Jerusalem, that's the city. It's the city of gold. That's the city where, Jews have been praying to for thousands of years. That's the capital. And yet, the majority, I don't want to say majority, the truth is I don't know, but many countries, many Western countries, including the United States, does not accept that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. Okay? And we're going to talk about Jerusalem today and talk about its importance and talk about sort of why are there issues. We're going to come back to this map and answer why is it that people don't want to accept Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, right? Because you and I, or maybe you don't, I don't know if you accept it, but most Jews around the world accept it, that it's the capital of Israel. And I want to show you a short little clip. I'm going to stop sharing my thing first, and I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to share with sound, share screen. I'm going to click here because I got to get you the video. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what Jews in Israel think is the capital. And here, people may say, oh, people living in Jerusalem. I live in Jerusalem, so I think it's the capital. But I'm going to show you a little clip about what Israelis in Tel Aviv, right, think is the capital. And tell me if you hear this. Oh, I'm going to press play. If not, then you guys can watch it yourselves. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
In April, the Guardian newspaper declared that Tel Aviv is Israel's capital. Now, Tel Aviv is an amazing city. Anyone who visits will find cutting-edge high-tech, beautiful beaches, vibrant nightlife, rich culture, and a diverse mix of people. But is Tel Aviv Israel's capital? We tried to find out. So we're in Tel Aviv, Israel. The Guardian says this is the capital of the state of Israel. Is this true?
No.
Is the Prime Minister's office here in Tel Aviv?
No.
Where is his office?
Jerusalem.
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 ירושלים, רק ירושלים, רק ירושלים.
Okay. So just what were they all saying? What were all the people in this interview saying? Jerusalem. Okay. Right, because this is an important thing, because in Israelis and a lot of Jewish people's minds, there's so much history about Jerusalem that to even say that another place is the capital is not only incorrect, but it's actually insulting. It's hurtful. There's way too much that I can get to in this class, but we're going to try to cover a little bit. But before we do, what I'd like everyone to do is you're going to see there's a Google Doc here that it says click here, and it's going to show you this. And I'm going to give people 5 minutes to do this because I want to get as many answers as we can. So here you have a picture of Jerusalem, and this is a spreadsheet. This is a Google PowerPoint that everybody can edit and work on. What I'd like you to do is around Jerusalem. What I want you to do, sorry, I can't get back to that. What I'd like everyone to do is to add in any information you know about Jerusalem. Anything as simple as how many people live there to something as difficult as who is the mayor. So you click there to access, right where it says click here, and just all you have to do is see where the text box is, take the text box, make it, and then you write your answer. Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, and then you write your name, Zach. And then just make sure you could use your own fonts, play around with it, have a good time. Can anyone tell me what I don't want them to do, please? Give me 2 or 3 things that I don't want you to do. Let's hear from one of the girls, please.
What shouldn't you do, Rachel?
What do I want to try? Yeah, Rachel.
We shouldn't like something that's not true.
Don't write something which you think is true, but right. Don't write something not true. Another 2 things.
Don't make them really big.
Don't make it really big or post over someone else. And the third is don't erase anyone's. Okay, don't erase anyone's at all. So I'm going to make mine bold, underline, I'm going to give it a color, and I'm going to give it a cool font. Okay, have a good time. You guys have 5 minutes to do this. Okay. Yes, Eve.
It says only view only, and that means that we can't it's on view and on.
It shouldn't be. It says anyone with the link. Okay, so I'm just going to change that as you see I'm doing right now. I just refresh your page and you'll be able to do it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Max, you having a problem with your computer?
Oh, now it's on. Now it's on. The code's definitely on.
What's you do?
Oh, no. Oh,
I'm in not. Hey, that's mom.
What's up?
ooh, someone's opening the door.
This is mine.
Oh.
How do I add one of those things?
I'll show you. Click on the top. It'll say there's a text box. Click on the text box. You see it?
No.
Click on. Okay. Hold on. Click on Jerusalem first. Are you there? You're on the Google Doc. Click on Jerusalem. Now all you're doing is just watching everybody do it.
Everyone's just going into my box.
Oh, there it is. I'm not going into your
And just
dots.
text whatever it is and make sure you put your name in. Okay?
I'm gonna be the anonymous.
I want to see some cribs. What's your deal, girl? You're not even on there. Oh, okay, fine.
Who's the chinchilla?
Who's the kind of like this?
Hey, chinchilla.
Remember, Mo Rebecca was just there, does not count. Okay? You can't write that in a box.
Who's the chinchilla?
You want real information.
How am I gonna find space? There are a lot of people writing it.
Just find space, Zach. There's ample room.
Yeah, guys, and if you need, then you just make your watch. Like I'm on mine, and I'm making it size 10 font. It's very easy. Hold on a sec. Yeah,
What kind of pause?
guys, keep on going. You have 3 minutes.
Whoa! No, someone's in my box. Stop.
Who's the wolf?
Me.
Who?
Don't go in my box. Who's deleting my stuff?
You're in my box.
Who's the platypus?
Who's the what?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm the wolf.
Oh, yeah, so
This
what's
one.
that?
What did we do first, and then no one else?
How are we doing?
That's why I put my name first because everyone gets on deleting my stuff. Okay, stop. Make it pretty.
All right, guys, let's try to get some like anything again. Like if you could put more than one answer, and you should have like more also facts and everything. So Brooke, great job. Ben, interesting answer.
Time to make it pretty.
Oh, some people are like, what's it called? They're checking out things.
I'm a wolf.
Chupacabra?
Yeah.
I'm not that good.
You put chupacabra. Whoever that was, you were in my box.
Pardon?
Oh.
Stop going into my box.
Guys, we asked before that people shouldn't go into other people's things.
They're like deleting my stuff.
What? I'm not doing anything.
Someone put an
Oh, we're
is,
not
and
signing
I
in
didn't put
there.
an is.
But I
No,
don't even know where to go. I have to sign in.
that's why it's not letting you. You don't really view.
I'm making
All I did was click on the side. Show. Thanks.
Have you tried typing in?
You can't because we're on view only, so you can't edit.
It's not letting me do anything.
you need help?
Who's phone?
Brooke.
I'm the anonymous narwhal.
Where's the platypus stuck going into my box?
I'm not in
The
there.
platypus is
Guys,
the platypus is annoying.
Does it look like you're a platypus?
I'm serious.
not.
Red, platypus is really annoying me. Who's gonna roll? Get out of my box.
Here's the text box.
People, you're so annoying. I'm serious. Get out of my
Guys.
All right, everyone's got it. Let's do this for one more minute, but let's have people calm down, please. And those of you who are really like erasing people's things, it's just not right. It's really not right. We're trying to do work here.
There, I just created a text box for you. So. Thank you.
Is that
Okay. Wait, it's upside down.
upside down?
I got it. Got
Oh
it.
my god, I'm gonna be a llama. I'm a llama.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm a llama.
Okay.
What is this?
Upside down. I don't even know how that would happen. Everyone, why are you upside down?
More back. I'm the anonymous llama.
What? No, it doesn't work like that. No, not upside down, please. The right side up.
More back. I'm a llama. Should I be a llama or normal?
I just want you to get the assignment done. I don't care what icon you want.
Hey, who typed in my box?
I go. Ooh, Rachel, I just. What font is that?
Hey, where did no one type this? Was it? It's in my box.
I woke up in the morning and you like that.
Wake up and read your box.
This is my school.
It's fine now.
I'm gonna be opposite of you, Rachel.
Okay, how's everyone doing?
Good.
And now
Okay, we're gonna finish up here.
Rachel, you're like complete opposites now. You have to do the It was so
How are we doing? Did you guys type in your comments? Freddie, how about you? Okay.
I'm
Max?
I'm just taking my name.
Make the finger color. Like I made my line color.
She's sitting at the
Make the
desk.
More back. Where did it go?
She went to color mom.
You're like the big person now or something like that. You're like, why is she calling you
Okay, let's
All right, guys.
okay. Let's continue. Hello? Are we ready?
Guys,
All right. So let's look at some of your responses.
There's no third person in this, and I don't know who that. Oh,
Capybara.
Okay. Capybara.
All right. So let's look at some of your responses. Okay. So who wrote Jerusalem was founded in 3000 BC?
Me.
Matt Xander. Okay. Just as like a little comment here. First of all, it's great. Do you know what BC stands for?
Right BCA.
Before
Centuries.
Before
Right.
Christ.
It stands for before Christ. So which means like before Christ, I think died. I think if it's died or was born. But sometimes people who aren't necessarily believers in Christ use the term BCE, which means before the common era. All right. So okay. So we have Jerusalem emblem is the lion. Good job, Brooke. Do you know why it's a lion?
No.
Okay, we'll get there maybe. Jerusalem consists of the old city and the new city. Who wrote this? Ben? How did you know Istanbul and Constantinople? How did you know that?
Oh my god.
What?
There.
Okay, Jerusalem's capital is where the Holy Temple was built. True, Max. 809,000. Interest. I didn't know that. Rachel Melly. Okay, so I'm really happy. So clearly, what you guys can see is either you didn't get there's not like you guys know a little bit about Jerusalem, but not that and not a ton. Okay, So what I want to go with you before, as we continue, I want you to watch this video. It's Jerusalem, 4,000 years in 5 minutes. Okay. And then what I want to do after we see this video, I want you to like on your laptops, or if you have a piece of paper, I just want you to write down while you're watching this, any of the things that pop out to you. Meaning there's going to be a lot of things, but anything that's interesting to you. And then after the video, I'm going to leave 2 to 3 minutes for questions. We're going to talk a little bit about this, but then we're going to focus on modern Israel. And what we're going to focus on is, why is it that in Israel, Jews and the Israeli government thinks that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, but in the United States government and other governments around the world view Tel Aviv as the capital? So let's watch this, learn a bit of the history, and go into it a little bit more. Okay, we're good?
Yes.
So let's go. Share computer with sound. I don't know why this just happened. Sorry. I'm going to play it. You guys don't have to play it. Who's ever playing it? Rachel, please stop.
No, stop here, stop.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, I think it works better when it's on a separate link. And hold on. Sorry. Okay.
Where's the liner board? There's no liner board.
All right, hold on. Just can you guys hear? Can you guys hear?
Jerusalem, a historical journey through archaeology and art. Jerusalem, a mosaic of different peoples, faiths, and nationalities. Nevertheless, despite this diversity, under the sovereignty of Israel, Jerusalem is a city that works. But has it always been this way?
Again, while we're watching this, I want everyone to please write down things that pop up as they're watching this, right? Anything that seems cool or interesting to you, okay?
The first historical mention of Jerusalem is in the Bible, in the era of the patriarchs. King David declares Jerusalem as Israel's capital, known from that point on also as Zion. His son King Solomon builds the first temple. But the temple is destroyed by the Babylonians, and the Jews are exiled. King Cyrus's declaration enables the Jews to return and rebuild the temple. Alexander the Great's conquests include Jerusalem. However, his successors desecrate the temple, which leads to the Maccabees' revolt against the Greeks' imposition of Hellenism. The Roman Empire seizes control, and King Herod renovates the temple. A large-scale revolt against a corrupt and vicious Roman reign fails. The Second Temple is destroyed, and the Jews are banned from Jerusalem. 60 years pass, and Bar Kokhba leads another revolt for the freedom of Jerusalem. But it fails after 3 years of battle. Jews are banned from the city, renamed by the Romans Aelia Capitolina, in order to eradicate its Jewish heritage. Roman Emperor Constantine converts to Christianity and reinforces the ban on Jews entering Jerusalem. A new religion, Islam, sweeps through the Middle East. Non-Muslims are declared second-class citizens. Crusaders conquer Jerusalem in a bloodbath of Jews and Muslims. 2,000 Jews are burnt alive in the main synagogue, and the city is depopulated of its previous inhabitants. The first organized mass Jewish return arrives from France and England. The Mamluks defeat the Christian kingdom of Jerusalem, and building and renovating of synagogues and churches is banned. The the great Mishnai commentator Rabbi Ovadia of Bartanura settles in Jerusalem. The Ottoman Empire takes over, imposing restrictions on Jews and Christians, and Sultan Suleiman rebuilds the walls. But as the empire declines, Jerusalem is badly neglected. Still, the Jewish people stream back, build new neighborhoods, and re-establish their majority by 1863. World War I breaks out. The Ottoman Empire collapses and makes room for a new Middle East. The British Foreign Secretary, Arthur James Balfour, declares the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people. Britain receives a mandate to create a Jewish homeland, but forbids Jews from blowing the shofar or reading holy scrolls at the Western Wall. Thousands of Muslims are incited to unleash an attack against Jews in Jerusalem and Hebron. 86 Jews are brutally murdered, hundreds are wounded. UN Resolution 181 declares Jerusalem as a corpus separatum, a separate entity. A Jewish state is declared as Jerusalem is put under siege, conquered, and divided. 58 synagogues are destroyed or desecrated. Harsh limitations are imposed on Jews and Christians for 19 years. The Six-Day War. Jerusalem is reunited and freedom and equality are restored. Throughout history, only Israel has protected the freedom of all peoples and faiths in Jerusalem.
All right. Okay, so I want you to take a second to write down or get anything that you watched from this and anything that you remember, something that stuck out in your head. Take 1 minute to write that. Let's go, everyone. And if you already wrote something, that's great. Write even more if you can. Just write it on like a Word document or anything.
What are you doing? Yeah, where are you writing? Oh, okay. Interesting.
You can write on anything what you saw from that or learned or anything quickly.
Just jot down something that you remember.
Right.
The video, guys. Come on. You good?
Yeah.
Add a comment.
What do we do then?
Write it down. Write it down somewhere. Comments. Put it by comments.
Wait, how many people are
Just create a doc for a second.
Just put it really, because we're not
How
starting.
many people are going to find?
What?
How many people are going to
86?
I don't know what to put it.
Create a Word doc, guys. It doesn't have to be a Google Doc. Create a Word doc.
We just want to write about this because it's a technical in our history.
What?
What you're writing is
What's
down
the
is
trend?
something that stuck out from the video, guys.
When the Holocaust broke out.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that right now. We're doing Holocaust.
Jared's crying.
Guys, listen to me. Boys.
Okay. All right. Let's hear from everyone. So let's start from
You can do a doc. You can do just
Ben.
Get a dog.
Here? Okay,
We don't have word and we can't get it on.
Sorry.
Britain established early 1900s after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, a Jewish state, although so far could not be born and holy scripts could not be read.
Okay. Awesome. Let's continue with Brooke.
I saw that Israel was in many and hundreds of wars, and then later on, 86 died and hundreds of were wounded.
Okay, great. We're going to get back to that. Eve.
Oh,
Eva, sorry.
okay. Well, I thought like there was a lot of people who were like sad and they didn't really have to do anything about it, but like the other religions who were taking over the Jews, they weren't as happy as I thought that they would be.
Okay. All right, in the back right, what do we have there?
We got Jared, Freddie, Xander, take your pick.
All right, let's have Freddie. Freddie, what'd you write?
I said that they had a lot of empires.
Okay, that's a really important point. I know you're laughing, but it really is. Okay, I'm gonna take. Anyone else would like to add something? Xander and then Rachel.
Well, the Jews welcome basically all religions in Jerusalem.
Great, and that's gonna tie back to a lot of empires. Rachel.
The first Jerusalem was called Jerusalem. It was called Zion.
Great, awesome. That comes from like the Bible and everything. Awesome. Let's have who do we have? Freddie and Jared. Jared, can you give us a response?
I was with you. It's your response.
Oh, true. Yeah, we were working together.
All right. Okay, Jared, let's pay a little bit more attention, okay? We'll get there. Okay, so let me explain to you what you guys all said, and I'm gonna tie it up very simply. There's three things which you guys need to know. One, Jews have always been in Jerusalem. And I will extend that even a little further. If they're in Jerusalem, then what does that mean? If your family has always lived in New Jersey, that means where have they always lived? What country?
United States.
Great, right? So Jews have always lived in Jerusalem. You guys are like, oh, who cares? Zach, who cares about Jews being in Jerusalem? You know why it cares? Because so many people in the world are saying that Jews don't belong in Jerusalem, that Jews do not belong in Israel, right? This is why it matters. It's very important, right? Because Jews have a right to be in their homeland and Jews have a right to be in their capital. And the fact that there's people and there's governments in the world that don't accept that, that's very difficult. And we'll get to why that is. Okay, so Jerusalem, there's always been Jews there. So that it's not like it was never at a time. There's been a history of a history, and I'm not talking about sort of like the Torah and whether you believe it or not and all that. It's like historically Jews have always been there. Two, something very interesting about Jerusalem specifically, and you could sort of extend that to all of Israel, is that there have been so many different people who have ruled over Jerusalem. So just in that video, you saw the Ottomans, the British, Rome, Greece, and the list goes so on and so much. That's why there's such a rich history here. Like if you ever come here and like do an archaeological dig, which people do a lot, you find so much stuff that is in other parts of the world because so many different empires were in Israel and specifically Jerusalem. So when people say, you know, they accept Jerusalem as a place that accepts a lot of different nationalities and religion, there's a reason for that because there's a long history of different types of people ruling Israel and specifically Jerusalem. So that's and then the last part, which I wanted to say, is what someone brought up about war, about that there have been a lot of wars. There have been, unfortunately, way too unfortunate, and even till today, people dying for the sake of Jerusalem, people dying in wars, people dying in terrorist attacks, people dying in so many different things to fight for this place. And that's really important. All these three things give into why Jerusalem is so important to the Jewish people and really to the rest of the world. Really to the rest of the world. You know, you look at all other places, the most smallest little city is probably the most heated topic in news for like the past 40 years. Jerusalem. It's a tiny little place, not even the size of New Jersey, and it's talked about way more than New Jersey will ever be talked about. Right? It's a tiny little place, Jerusalem. Yet it's all the time in the news. So all these things are really important because Jerusalem is a very special, unique, different city. You can walk to one part of the city and it looks like you're in Greece. You can walk to another part of the city, it looks like you're in Rome. You can walk to another part of the city, it looks like you're in America. Like all these different things are very, very important to how important the city is. Now, we learned about there's a rich history. Jews have always been here. There are a lot of different people. I want to talk about modern day and what, as you get older, sort of why people are going to be like, Jerusalem isn't the capital or Jews shouldn't be in Jerusalem. I'm going to talk about that right now. And I'm going to explain it by looking at this map. Okay? So if you're on the haiku, you can go to the haiku and it's right here. And I'm going to try to explain this as clearly as I can, but I need you guys to be honest if you understand or not. This is the map of Israel, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Okay. The orange belongs to who?
Palestine. The Palestinians.
Incorrect. Incorrect. The orange belongs to who?
Israel.
Great. The I don't know what color, beige. The beige in the borders of Israel belongs to who?
Jordan, Syria, and Egypt.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so so I just want to separate before all these states, all these countries around. So Syria, Jordan, Egypt, these are Muslim states. These are Muslim countries, of which they're connected to Israel in the sense politically, and we won't get there, but they don't have a geographical location in Israel, meaning Syria is not in Israel. Jordan used to be in Israel, which we'll get into, but the West Bank, and hold on, I'm going to try something here, which I think I did last time, but I'm just going to, hold on. Here we go. You guys see this? Do you guys see where I'm drawing?
Yes. Yes.
Do you see this? What I'm coloring in?
That's the West Bank.
Okay, the West Bank. The West Bank. Why is it called the West Bank? Can anyone guess?
Because it's on the west side of Israel. West side.
Is it?
No, it's on the east
No,
side.
it's actually the north. No, the east.
West side.
West Bank of what?
Never enter stinky washrooms. Okay?
What?
Never enter stinky washrooms, north, east, south, west.
Yeah.
That's how I remember. Okay. The reason why it's called the West Bank is because it's west of the Jordan River. Jordan, it's west of the Jordan, and that's in Israel because the West Bank used to belong to Jordan. Okay? So it's west of that. So people get confused, like what Xander just said, oh, it's because it's on the west side of Israel, but it's not because the west side would be on the other side. Great. Why is this important? And I'll explain to you why. There are these two places. There's the West Bank, and then there's this little area over here called the Gaza Strip. Are we cool right now?
Yes.
Okay. The West Bank and the Gaza Strip are two places in Israel that belong to the Palestinians. All right, we're good? We got that? Are we good? Hello. Okay. They're in the authority of the Palestinian government, which I'm not going to get into because it's way too confusing right now. Now, what's the problem? Where is Jerusalem? Where's Jerusalem?
It's where the star is. It's the West Bank.
Okay, so great. Jerusalem is literally on the border of the West Bank. So much so that there's West Jerusalem and East Jerusalem. So I live in West Jerusalem. East Jerusalem is in, right? If East Jerusalem is inside, and this is confusing, East Jerusalem is inside the West Bank, right? Because we said west, it's west of the Jordan, even though it's on the east side, whatever. So Jerusalem is half in the West Bank and half not. And in a certain point in history, in 1967, the Six-Day War, the country of Israel conquered all of Jerusalem. It conquered the entire thing. Okay? So if you look at the West Bank, it used to even extend farther. It used to extend out all of Jerusalem. It used to have it all. And then Israel in the 1967 war conquered it. And they conquered it, and we did not, it was Jordan that attacked us. We conquered it, and we got access to what's called the Kotel, the Western Wall, which is a holy site because it was right next to where the Holy Temple, which someone wrote, was built. Right? That's where it was. So Jerusalem is, and something which those of you who follow the news, you'll hear a lot. Inside the West Bank, because in the 6-Day War we literally conquered this entire area. We conquered everything. But Israel, in peace negotiations, gave things back. But there are still today small, what people call settlements, but you can call them like small towns of Jews living in the West Bank. So for example, I told you about this guy today, Tuvia Yanai, who was killed. He lives in one of these small towns in areas populated by Palestinians. And what happened was he went into a supermarket where Palestinian did also, and the Palestinian killed him. Right? I'm not giving you the full picture, but what you'll see is, and if you Google this, and you'll see a lot of propaganda. I'm trying to give you sort of like a pretty unbiased perception of it, but there's a lot of these Jewish, what we call settlements or small towns that are in the West Bank. Now, Jerusalem is different because it's considered like a very important city, right? And Jerusalem is half in and half out. And many parts of the world, including the United States, at certain points think that we should give back major parts of Jerusalem. So that includes the Kotel, which is the Western Wall, which is probably the most important holy site in Israel. That includes the Old City, which is the area around the Kotel, the Western Wall. They think we should give it back, and we refuse. And over again, we refuse. We're saying, no, we're keeping this. This is our holy city. We've had this place for thousands and thousands of years, right? Someone wrote 3,000 years. It's talked about in the Bible. It's talked about in our history books and all that. And so I sort of gave you a little bit of an explanation as to why nowadays people have issues with it. But it's very important to understand that we have a rich history there. And it's a place that we've been thinking about for many years. I want you to go in. Are there any questions about that whole, I'm sorry it was a lot of talking, but I wanted to explain it. Any questions about that?
Any questions, guys?
No.
Okay, well then I did a really good job explaining. Okay, last thing for the day, which we'll do, is if you go to this part on the haiku, it's called maps. Okay, so you're going to click here. It's going to bring you to a lino board. Okay, what I'd like everyone to do, and we'll take the next 4 minutes to do this, 5 minutes to do this, is here. You have a lot, I don't know why this is like this. I have to get rid of this. Sorry. But here you have a bunch of different maps. Sorry, I just want to log in. Sorry about this. I don't know why that happened. Okay. Just want to get rid of, did people already, people already responded. Brooke already responded. So what I'd like you to do is please follow these instructions. Examine the maps of Jerusalem and answer the following questions. So there's 2 questions you're going to answer. Can you tell which of the maps are modern and which are ancient and which ones are modern? And what is one similarity and one difference between the 3 maps? So you just look around, look at the different maps. There's a bunch of them, and answer these 2 questions. Please take the next 4 to 5 minutes to do this.
Everybody on the page?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear one yeah. I want to hear a bunch of yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Which one do you think is modern?
Come on. Remember, you have to know the difference and the similarity. There's two parts to it, guys. Identify ancient versus modern, and then note a similarity and a difference.
I cannot get the full image on this.
Okay, mine is a little too big. Yeah.
She's weird. I like that.
I saw that in the beginning.
Less talking, more doing. Let's go.
There's only 30
You guys were quite in the schmooze mode today.
Oh, I'm
I
tired.
couldn't tell. You're a
tired.
super schmoozer. Come on, let's
I
go.
didn't eat breakfast. I woke up, or I stayed up until like 4 o'clock.
Let's go.
So far, we only have a response from Brooke.
Only one response, and there are several of you here. Let's go. This is not a complicated assignment, guys.
That's what I was asking you before, but you didn't answer me.
Did you
so
see mine?
Well, you're not gonna get any credit.
Ben, you put yours right above, like right on top.
No, you're not.
Come on, Jared. That would be W-E, not W-I-I. There you go.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was W-E-I.
Ben, you hear us, you're talking about the little thing.
Come on, you contribute.
Come on, type.
What am I here for? Because
Eva, you okay there?
I'm tired.
I know, but sit up, please, and let's go.
I think it's modern because it looks very modern.
How could you tell if it's modern versus ancient? There's obviously certain things that are going to be on it that are going to indicate whether it's ancient or modern. What are you doing, you freak show? Come on, open it up. Type on your normal first. Make it phone. It's a European way to say. I want that phone put away. Thank you.
Someone put their time on. No. Probably Ben. Ben, move yours. Yeah, I was right. It was Ben, move yours. Ben, move your sticky.
Yeah, Ben would stick.
Oh my god! Seriously, my God, seriously, God, you're so annoying. My God, read it. Jared, stop.
Hey, Jared.
It's here.
No, it's your computer and you're
Oh my God,
posting it. You're
take
typing
yours
it,
off
right?
of mine. You guys
You're typing. I want to move
Yeah,
like
Mr. Reed. Come on.
I don't want to move it.
Oh wait,
You said it actually.
Come on, let's go.
Jared, you didn't add your name.
How do you move it? I can move it over.
You have to click on it and drag it. Click and drag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Click on it.
Oh, there it is.
I don't pineapple.
Who has submitted it? Who has submitted? I know Brooke has. Who else?
Mine got deleted.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Rachel, how are you doing over there?
Mine got deleted. I have to redo mine. Who said rethink this? Is
What about you, Eva?
Oh, I did mine.
Post?
Yeah.
What about you? Mister, I can't decide yellow or purple.
I think it's from Jared. I know you made this. Jared, you forgot to put your name on yours.
All right, let's take one more minute. One more minute.
I said we because that's what he told me to do. No, I said we.
Yeah, but you still have to write your name.
So since you did the typing, Jared will do the answering.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 more seconds.
The answering.
I shall click you. I want to write my name. It's not working.
You can edit it?
I can't.
I can do.
Right?
Put your name on it.
Why is this so quiet?
Question? Unless you're asked a question.
I think.
How we doing, guys?
Okay, all right.
Go get
So,
it.
all right, okay. So you guys did a great job. Anyone want to say? I'm going to share the screen. Anyone want to share some of the responses?
There we go, guys. Come
Someone
on.
put this on my.
Wait, hang on. I'm trying to. Hang on.
All right, so here a lot of people wrote that they can tell they're modern or shapes, and people mentioned the walls. So there's two things which I want to bring up when you see this, and this is very important because it's the way Jewish people have viewed Jerusalem for history. The two things which I want to talk about are, one is this picture. Where is Jerusalem here? Yeah, Xander?
Well, I can't really see it that well, but I was gonna comment on how it's not modern, how you can tell.
Pardon?
I was gonna say how you could tell it's not modern.
Right. It's not. But what it shows here, what's really important, is Jerusalem is smack in the middle. Right? The way Jewish people have viewed Jerusalem for time and century is that Jerusalem is the center. Right? That when you say you go to Israel, the Hebrew term is called aliyah, which in Hebrew means to go up. Right? So like, let's say if I'm coming from Canada and I'm going to Israel, I'm going south, not up. Right? Still, you call it aliyah because you're going up in holiness. You're going up. It's like a feeling of going up. Israel, specifically Jerusalem, is viewed by many Jews as the center. Do you guys, when you enter a synagogue, do you know which way you face the temple or the synagogue is faced?
Which way are you facing?
When you pray.
You pray. Which direction? You should know this by now. East. Thank you.
Why east?
Because that's where Jerusalem is.
Right, because that's where Jerusalem. And when you don't live in like North America, right, and you live in Israel and you're in the north, you don't face east. You face the direction of where Jerusalem is, because Jerusalem is the center. If you view like there are amazing transcripts of people during the Holocaust and during anti-Semitic times where they write about the importance of Jerusalem and their prayer, about Jerusalem, how significant that is to them. Right? This is the way they viewed it, as the center, right? And this is really important. The second thing is what a lot of people mention, is that it's walled, right? There's all these pictures have walls on them around, right? Because that's what Jerusalem is. It's a city that needs to be protected by its people, right? Why was it like it back then? Because this is how it protected from war, right? Like these walls protected it from war back in ancient history. But what it's telling us is nowadays, Israel and Jerusalem specifically still needs protection. But protection doesn't always come from walls and armies, but it comes from the people, right? Protecting Jerusalem, and that it's a place that belongs to the Jewish people. That doesn't mean other people can't come. That doesn't mean other people can't be a holy site for them, right? In fact, the opposite. It makes it more of a holy place for them. It makes it more of a religious place, right? That will protect them. Jewish people in Israel will protect any faith that comes to Jerusalem because we understand the importance of that. So this is really significant. This is a really important idea. These two things, that Jerusalem has been the center of Jewish people's lives throughout history. And also it's a place that needs to be protected still, even in our times. Not necessarily through war and through armies and through that, even though it still does, but also through people living in America. Protecting, speaking out against people who, don't believe that the Jewish people belong in Israel or that they deserve Israel. So we're going to end on that note. I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you guys soon.
Take care. Thanks, Zach.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.